It's not exactly what I thought it would be. I got my house on a little piece of land. This is a place I'm gonna take my stand. But I keep living on dreams. One thing I know, that's the way it's gotta be. Am I living the American dream? I keep searching for that dream of me, hoping someday that I will see myself in American dream. Chance I get, you can't change nothing if you don't do that. I pay my taxes even when
How y'all doing, baby? I'm glad to see this Blue Dot family come together. Anyway, it is Sunday, so let's put a smile on our face as best we can. We got a week to muddle through. Let's see what happens, baby. Let's see. Sherry Puckett was the first one to jump in. Sherry, thank you very much for being here, darling. Bart Larson is here. Jeanette Miller. Gary Spring all the way up in Canada. Thank you very much, baby. That smart-ass Squaw Martha is with us, and I'm always thankful to see you there, baby. Debbie Marie, Dorothy Tyndall. Let me see, Jeff Curry. Say that. I go cycling, baby. Twain Two Square. Hey, Twain Two Square. I have not seen that one. How you doing? Glad to see you in here. Hold on to your britches. Don't know where we're going. Randy Peterson. Whoo, pig getting short out there in California. You better take a day or two more. It's still sweltering down here, buddy. Soak it up for as much as you can, because you're coming back to an oven. Anyway, Deborah Douglas is here. Let me see. BW, thank you for being here and for everything that you're doing. Anyway, let me see. Who else was here? Jeff Curry, Jeff Bart Larson. Karen Van Wyck. Just getting so proud of myself. Anyway, let me jump on down here. Jay Clayton and Steph and I is both there. Stephanie Dean and Jay Clayton, and the romance continues. Got a big old heart right there. Anyway, let me jump on down here before I get lost. Let me see. Old Bat with Two Cats is here. I seen it go by. Irish Giselle. Reels is here. Thank goodness, because we need to keep it reals. Anyway, what's going on? Well, shit, Russia. It's all about Russia and the big coup over there. Attempt that lasted all of 36 hours. And everybody's wondering where the big guy went that was all in charge of it. So we're all waiting to see what happened. It's going to be a prime subject matter for the next few days, I'm sure. If you did see my rant earlier, you know that's not the most major thing on my mind. And the most major thing on my mind, and it's just tearing me apart, is a story out of San Antonio, Texas, where a woman in mental crisis, desperate, thinks the FBI is listening to her through the walls, all sorts of stuff. Fire department's there, paramedics are there, everybody's ready to do their thing. The police show up and shoot her 20 times through a fucking window. That's heavy on my mind. Because you can see the video on TV now. They're showing the body cam video. 3 officers have been arrested and charged with murder. I said earlier in my rant that this culture that we have in this society of ours, this gun lust that we have to worry about so much, because the more of that there is in our society, the more that we see the response from a police officer to a small hammer through a window is to pull their service revolver and empty it. for a mental health crisis. That everybody knew. Everybody there knew. She's in there trying to cut the walls to the fire alarm system in her building because she thinks that's where they're listening to her. The FBI's listening to her through that monitor. I'm just saddened to hear a story like that because it's not the first time we've heard a story of this nature. This happens more often than you think. That the response our police officers have to damn near anything is to pull that weapon. Do we blame them when in this situation? Hell yeah. But in a world where everybody's carrying a freaking gun, open carry, concealed carry, just carry. We put them in a position to where they're scared. And it ends up being scared over a lady with a hammer that everybody knew was having a mental breakdown. That's what's heavy on my mind. And it's heavy on my heart for this nation. Because it plays so much into the culture in this country. That if you have a gun, you ain't got a big enough gun. And if you do have a big gun, you ain't got enough guns. Because you know, there's going to be a horde of people coming over the hill any minute now. I still fall back to that video I saw years ago of a man in London with a machete threatening to attack all sorts of people. And the police showed up with riot shields and just moved around him until they just reached in and took the damn knife away from him. I never see that story here. I don't. What you hear here is a weapon is an officer fires, and next thing you know, 10 of them fire up. Let's go, baby. Let's shoot everything that fucking moves, and then we'll figure it out. And in this case, it cost the lady her life. You know, a story not long ago, a lady called 911. I can't remember where, I just remember the story. Police came. She went up to meet the police, and the cop was spooked that he pulled his gun out and shot her dead. Ah! So much for that fucking complaint, huh? Anyway, I don't mean to bring this family down, but this whole thing, this Blue Dot family is formed around a need to be active in our society, to be active in our communities, to participate in this process that we call democracy. And we can't quit it, baby. No matter how heartbreaking it gets sometimes, we have to keep right on going. Anyway, there's my 2 cents for the day. Let me see if I can get my 2 co-hosts up here to see if they can brighten my mood a little bit. They always do. They always do. Mission Chick, I was so happy to see you in there. Bernadette, thank you for being here. Uh-oh.
It's, I don't know how to follow that. It's sad that, this is the state of our world. I mean, why are cops still being called for mental health crises? Not only that, but if,
it's a heartbreaking story.
If you fear for your life, why are you a cop?
Yeah, are you that nervous? Anyway, I don't want to bring the whole family down. It's heavy on my head, and I couldn't start without getting that out because that's what my concern is where we're going to end up.
It's a problem. It's a problem. This is in your neighborhood this time.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have a right to speak on it because it's right down the street from you, like you said. John, I spoke to one of my sisters. She has dementia. It was a very disturbing
sorry to hear that, darling.
Yeah, but this is happening all across the country. We all have somebody in our family that's having a mental health crisis due to one thing or another. The thing that brings the crisis on doesn't matter. The fact that these people are having crisis is is a problem, but the problem begins when you call a cop for it.
Yeah, that brings up the whole issue of a police officer's response is there to arrest your ass. and they had decided that that they were going to arrest her on
They don't know
misdemeanor.
how to deal with this. They don't know
No,
how to deal
no,
with this.
no. They're
And
trained
why
to
are
deal
they
with
the
criminals.
first ones? Yeah, why are they the ones that get to be called first,
I don't
and
think they
then they're
were.
Yeah, no. In this case, the fire department did show up first. Fire department and paramedics are there, but they just can't. They can't corral her. They can't.
okay? Then how about this one? On the police force, there should be a mental health
There
crisis
you go.
officer. Officer,
There you go.
somebody specifically trained in being able to talk people down from their crisis. That doesn't
But
necessarily mean you go in there with guns pulled.
with as much training as our officers go through, you would think that that would be part of their training to begin with. Anyway, let's get on. Miss Chick, how are you?
I'm good. I might cut out here. We're currently in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Oh no, can you send it
But
down here, please?
I can try, but it seems to be
Turn the
going
fan on.
north instead of south. So
Mm.
no,
Yeah, I saw it on the radar. I mean, that big swath going through. There's a lot of rain
yeah.
associated with that system moving eastward. But yeah, we made it in the news. Corpus Christi made it in the news.
Oh,
Yeah. We're all gonna die. That's what it is.
okay.
Yeah, we mentioned in the news because
Between
this,
the heat index and the
yes, the
thunderstorm.
heat index, because right now our humidity right now is at about 73%. So when it's right now like 99 degrees outside, you throw in that water and it feels like a whole lot more. And we're projected to stay this way for another week. And
I
we've
saw
been in it.
that.
Yeah, we've been in it for over a week.
Mm.
It's either 99 or 102, 104, whatever. But
Just keep doing what you were doing. Stay safe.
yeah, got to stay hydrated and stay inside as much as we can. You walk out that door and it's like you fall dead. Anyway, let me thank Maria Betancourt, who came in with a $5 donation and said the only reason they were fired and arrested is because the cops are Latinos. If they were white, they would have been suspended. I'm not going to argue with you.
Hey, with pay.
With pay
With
right
pay.
now,
Get
yes,
rid of
yes,
leave.
all three officers are Hispanic, and you have to worry. Down here, you think about that. Yes, Maria Betancourt is right for thinking it. Unfortunately, that's part of our. We could a list. We could come up every freaking day with a list, and we do. You know, of the things that tear the society apart, and how do we rebuild from this? I know what I do.
You know what, John?
What?
The simple fact is that we're capable of making these kinds of decisions. We got a lot of flack and crap coming from people in our own country that doesn't fucking make sense. And what we seriously need to do is just crack down and get these people out of fucking office.
We need to make
So
a better
we can
society,
say
and it starts right there.
we need to make a better society, and we can do that. And I want to encourage everybody, don't give up in this next cycle, because as usual, it's the most important thing that we can do.
This is how we forge our society,
It's why
by
we're here.
participating in it.
It's why we gather
Yeah.
on Sunday afternoons to talk about this crap going on in our society, and the people that are stopping the progress in this country need to be moved, and we're
Moved.
the force to move them.
You answered my next lead-in. I decided what I'm going to do. Move. I'm going to move to Australia, where it's freaking cooler right now. Aussie, Aussie, what's the temperature down there, buddy?
65 or
Yeah.
something like this.
I'm ready to go.
About
I'm ready
65.
to go.
Hey guys, I was driving past as normal and I seen your light was on.
Well, we appreciate
and,
you stopping by.
I gotta say, we had a storm down here last night, so I'm going to be picked up to help clean up a couple of old ladies' houses.
Good on you, Dave.
When the truck arrives, if someone's in a rant or in a statement, I would just sneak out. But if there's a break, I will say good night. So just please understand that. Now, your issue tonight, John. And hello, ladies. How are you?
I'm
I
Hey,
hope
Dave.
you're well.
all doing fine, I think.
This shooting of this lady, I would have thought there was other options like tear gas, a taser. They were certainly two ways to disarm her with tear gas or a taser. But the lady you mentioned that was shot next to the police car, going up to the police car
Right.
at some ungodly hour, who called the police,
Yes.
who was just a normal woman. She was an Australian lady. She was married to an American guy. And that hit her hard over here. But when the cops turn up with a nutcase that's gone off their head, the worst thing you can do is point a fucking gun at them, because that makes them more worse, or it does set them off initially.
It would any of us.
Yeah.
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 It
Who
would
would
any
think
of
that
us.
somebody in their right
It's
mind
bad
would be
training.
frightened?
It's bad training, Bernadette.
They
All
shot
around,
her
it's just
through the
bad
window.
training.
But they knew that this woman was hearing. I mean, she was already thinking that the CIA was listening in. I mean, there's something going on there. There's something
Yeah,
going
it's
on
obvious. The way she was acting, what she was doing, and what she was saying, it was obvious she was in a mental breakdown and needed assistance. And
Yeah.
they
You
tried the
talk-
right
Taser,
way with the
taser,
fire department,
taser.
the paramedics, but when the police show up, the police seem sometimes to have just one response, and that is to walk into the situation with your weapon drawn. And there was no reason to have that weapon drawn in this situation. She is not posing a threat. My God, if you can't handle the little lady with the hammer, get off the police department, please. And they did. They're in jail. No, they're bonded out. I'm sorry. They're bonded out already. Suspended without
Can
pay.
can I just try and make it? I'm sure we're going to get back on this subject, because I'm sure people with their hands up are going to have something to say. But I just want to say one thing: it's a danger to Australia. Do not fucking let Donny get over here.
Yeah, no,
Right?
we're trying to contain
Don't let
him
him on
here.
the plane. Donny
You're gonna have-
Jr. I'm
We're,
talking
we're,
about.
we're going to try to contain his ass here.
Close your borders.
Yeah.
Go ahead and close your borders.
There's a petition over here that a week ago had 20,000 signatures on it. And I'm sure it's much more now. He will be protested. He will be haunted. We know what he's over here doing. He's over here to preach the fascist corporations. That's what he's doing. He may preach to go out and do a meeting, and his prices are right for people to afford it, but that's just what Nazis do. But in the background, he'll be talking to our corporations and saying, hey, we don't need his corruption over here. Enough said.
Yeah, enough said on that. Let's don't be rude. Angie?
Hey, John. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, dear, and how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We went from sitting on the front porch weather to, I think the devil has
Yeah,
been
we're
spitting.
sitting in Hades, baby. That's where we are.
Oh, Jesus. I went to the store today and I said, thank God I ain't never got to leave the house again.
I'm telling you, the
No.
minute we open that front door to walk out, it's like a brick that hits you right smack in the face. We have a breeze, but it's like sitting in front of an oven.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hot air breeze, so it's not doing you any good. But we got to hang on, baby, because there's only another week, 3 weeks, another 2 months of it. I don't know, but I keep looking on the radar for a little rain, and it ain't happening. Let me see, before we get
Yeah.
cranked up, let me thank Nana Lovely, our own Tammy Ames, for coming in with a $2 donation and said, there by the grace of God go I.
Yeah.
How many of us have been in that situation where we're beside ourselves for one thing or another? And how easily it would be for the police to misinterpret what we are going through. Anyway, Tammy, thank you very much, baby. I appreciate it.
How is the attitude of that friggin' mayor in that won't give up his seat, Alabama? He lost the election.
Oh, no.
But
I
the
haven't
guy
heard this.
lost
Are
to
you
his
shitting
flat.
me? We got
No,
another
he
Donnie
won't walk
somewhere?
out. Yes, he will,
Oh,
but no, this guy
God.
won't give up his seat. He will not leave his position and hand it over to a black man. And that's true, mate. I posted on
This
chat
is-
the other day the story.
This is the Republican Party. Okay.
Yeah. What do you
Oh
want
my
to know?
God. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And you know
All
what?
he
But I
does.
did put it on
The only
chat.
thing
It
that
is
I
on
can
chat
tell
there for you
you
guys to read.
is there's something going on in the South. I don't know if it's the heat. I don't know if it's the water. I don't know if it's the air. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what the hell is going on down there, but there's something drastically wrong. These people have lost their fucking minds, and I'm sorry you have to see this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it is a good sign that Alabama elected a black mayor. That's a change.
Yes.
That is shows
Absolutely.
something.
The old mayor
The
refusing to
learning
give
of
it up.
thing.
That's the old way. That's the yeah.
Oh, he's the
That's
man
the-
is in his
You know,
probably in his
the
60s.
South actually thinks that they didn't lose the Civil War. They actually won that shit.
Well, let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Like we didn't go to the moon and the earth is flat.
That's right.
Oh,
Don't believe none of
Well,
that
and
stuff
don't
you
get me
hear.
started with the flat earthers, okay?
Well, let me see. Let me start off here a little bit, but quit playing with things. Anyway, well, one, let me thank Keith Thompson. Oorah! Came in with a $2 donation and said, a hammer versus 18 9mm rounds. What the fuck? What the fuck? They're charged with murder. Rightly so. Where was I going? I was going to go somewhere. Oh, I remember where I was going. The whole reason for our Blue Dot family to exist is politics. The politics of life when Donnie moved in and all of it, everything went to shit in a handbasket and we started getting involved, making sure everybody could get out there and vote and all that kind of stuff. And we came up with this thing that we did. It's called Two for Blue. And I've been after it. Bernadette, everybody been after John. Let's do the Two for Blue. So we're going to start Two for Blue. But this time I'm going to start a little selfishly because I have high hopes in 24 that we are going to turn Texas blue. And the way we're going to start that is by electing Colin Allred for Senate. He is running against Ted Cruz. He's he's been a congressman here in Texas for a long time. He's out of the Dallas area. District 14, I think. Don't quote me on that one. You'd see it on his website. So go to his website, colinallred.com, and pitch in a few dollars if you can, because that's what this is all about. Give a couple of dollars, because these are the candidates that we want to push. I want so bad to turn Texas blue. And going up against Ted Cruz, I'll put Colin Allred up against Ted Cruz any day of the week in any event. Patriotism being a big one. So, if you have an extra couple of dollars, go to his website. It's right there. Hit the button to donate a little bit, and let's start helping around the nation, getting the people elected that are going to make a difference in people's lives. And Colin is, so let's go there if we can, baby. Anyway, how you like that, Bernadette?
I love it, but the next time, can you warn me that we're going to do this so I can have my little pop-ups ready?
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
I was
For
just
Royal
unprepared.
Nation.
Oh, and you
Guys,
just put it in
coordinate.
there. Two for blue. There you go. And Bernadette was kind of, and that's what she's talking about. I should have gave her a heads up.
That's what I'm talking about.
There is, and that explains everything. Now that I stopped and looked at this because I went to go to the website a little while ago, so I could just refresh my memory on everything because I had Poroshenko stuff in my head how to pronounce that, and I couldn't get there. It kept taking me to some ancestry research shit. You know why? Because I put two L's in his name. Just Colin.
Ah.
Yeah, Coll. Yeah, I wasn't even looking. It's got one L, so don't make
Right.
the same mistake I did. It's only got one L. COLINALLRED.com. And see if we can't help get. That would help me
This
out
guy's
too, baby.
Amazing.
You know, yes, he is.
He is a rep in the House right now,
Yes.
and he's running for Ted to replace Ted Cruz. And you know what? If I don't know the fucking cow ran, it would be a better choice.
It would be a better choice. A raccoon,
This
anything.
This guy is amazing, and we need to throw some money at him, because none of us got a whole lot of money, but we could do $2.
We could do $2.
Just a bottle of water. It's a bottle of water.
I'm going to push it and go for $5 because I feel
Absolutely.
I'm going to go for
And
$5.
that's my hope because I know that the Blue Dot family is a generous family, and I've seen them come out for a lot
They
of things.
are.
So
And
Yep.
and when these, it started trickling in a little bit of information at the end of the last of 2020 that the Blue Dot family name is
Yep.
starting to make the rounds in political maps out there. These Blue Dots are all over the country. This show has progressed, especially here in the last, I'd say, 6 months. Our numbers continue to go up. Viewership goes
Yep.
up all the time, and participation goes up. And so, yeah, the more we do that, and it's not a me thing, baby. This is a we thing, because we're
This
all
is a
over the
we
place.
thing. This is something that we can do.
Yeah.
We could donate $2 to these candidates that need to
Yeah.
replace the MAGA crazies in our Congress. We can do this, guys.
We can do it.
Absolutely.
And Angie just did.
So,
Thank you, Angie.
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Angie. There you go.
There we
It's
go.
that easy nowadays in the modern world.
And we'll be having
I've
more
been
of these, and
Yes,
I
we
will have
will.
my little pop-up ready.
Yes, we
I've
will.
been
And next time I'll let you know who, because I
Thank
also
you.
want to thank all our Blue Dots, because Travis put a page on our Discord, Two for Blue, and any other way that you can get the message to us who you want to be featured on Two for Blue. If you have somebody running on the Democratic side, if you're a Republican, tough shit, get out of here. You should be at the QAnon meeting right now.
Right.
So, unless you're thinking about switching, and then you found the right place, baby.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, we'll take Republicans.
We'll take
for you.
Republicans over here. We can redeem your soul. Don't worry.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can. You
we-
can. There's still a chance.
There's still a chance to
Repent, ye
save
sinners,
everybody.
Repent. There's still a chance.
Well, you've
Yeah,
got to
dude.
save yourself from people like the right-wing, right-wing Christian conservative that come out of a rally 2 or 3 days ago and was ranting on, was interviewed by most of the stations. The
Right.
problem is I haven't seen it run on CNN. I've seen it run on
The
MSNBC.
Faith and Freedom Conference.
Yes, and he came out and he said, we feel that the best path is the path that, the path that Stalin and Mao and Hitler took. They knew that we must control education to get control of the country. They said it out loud again.
Well, they're always saying everything they want to do. They say out loud that we should not
Yeah.
be surprised by anything
Like
that
they're
they fucking
proud
do.
of it.
Yeah.
And Florida's a
people are
prime
out of their
example
mind.
with
They have no
everything from
problem.
don't say gay to let's ban books to all sorts of crap down there. Are you seriously? Really?
Seriously, you're going to quote Hitler, Mao, and
Yeah.
Stalin?
They quote him all the time. Sporkford was just
What's
out
the
there
group-
today or yesterday quoting him.
When
Mother-
are we going to accept it's not the GOP, it is a Nazi party?
What is
I've accepted
somebody
it.
help me out with? There's another group in the news right now. Mothers
For liberty.
for
Mothers for
Liberty.
Liberty.
Thank you, Miss
Yeah.
Chick. Yes, who came out, I guess, quoting
She's on the
Hitler.
ball again, that lady.
Quoting Hitler, a bunch of Hitler shit. Nazi crap.
Accidentally,
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, because a lot of it sounds real patriotic. Unless you unpack it.
But we have people in our Congress that are up here, hailing Putin for kicking
Yes.
this guy into Belarus.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
A lot of the
Oh my
GOP
God.
are supporting Russia.
never
Why is
stop.
that?
Yeah.
Why
Now
is
they're calling
that?
the Dems evangelistic left. They're calling the Dems a cult,
Yes.
an evangelistic cult that is trying to indoctrinate kids through school. They're projecting again.
Because they got nothing.
They are
got
projecting.
nothing.
They're screaming
trying to-
about transgender or gay or something.
And did you see
Well,
Trump say
being woke.
at his rally, we are going to deal with these communists and these people that are non-American that come in, and I don't know how to handle the ones
Indoctrinate
that
your kids.
were born here. I don't know how to handle the ones that are born here, but I think we'll have to deal with that as well. So he's going to go back to this. Even if you're fucking born here, if you're not American blood, meaning full white,
he
you're
wants
out.
to go back several generations now. Are you really American? We're going to look here.
I wish we could take him back a couple of
Yeah.
generations.
Yeah, I think so.
He was never,
My God,
Put his
it's
ass
scary,
back
though.
wherever he. Well, I don't
I
even
mean,
want to
he's
do that to
mentally- he's
Germany
unwell.
nowadays.
You guys,
He's
I keep
unwell,
saying
guys.
this is the person that the Republican Party wants to hand the nuclear codes to again.
Crazy,
I can't.
crazy.
And that alone should make us want to give $2 to every Democrat who's running
Everybody.
for office
Everybody.
anywhere.
Stretch it out
And
over
he-
time. You're only talking,
Bernadette-
what?
Bernadette,
Hundred
and
of
he
them
turned
running
around and he
200
said, you know what I could do? He said, if it were me in office right now, I could solve this Russia-Ukraine thing in 24 hours. Of course he can. He'll pull all the aid off of Ukraine.
Yes, in a heartbeat. He would pull all our support from Ukraine, for Ukraine, and let Russia overtake it. In a heartbeat, he would. That's who he is.
You know what? I have so much faith in Jack Smith that
too.
he's become
So do I.
become my superhero hero.
I know it. Every
Okay.
time I see him,
Would
I
you
think
see
he ought to
now
be wearing a
he's
cape.
going after? He's going now
Yeah.
today, or not today, but recently Midas Touch reports that he's gone after the fake electors and done deals with
Yes.
some of the lower
Yes.
class ones.
Hey,
Yes.
He's going in deep, this guy. This guy is going in fucking deep.
that's what I was
And
talking
I'm
about
so
the other
glad
day.
he's on the case.
It,
I am
it's
so
a
glad that-
conspiracy.
He's on the case because
Yes.
he's already got this documents case all wrapped up and ready to go, and now he's going after the January 6th and the fake electors shit.
Angie, you're just going to have to
He's
jump
gonna
in
go
here,
right
buddy.
back.
The
He's gonna
man
go
can
right back to the-
multitask. He can
The Mueller
multitask.
report. He'll go back to the Mueller report. That's how far back this guy will go.
Yes. Farther back than that.
It goes further than that. Yes.
It goes all the way back to the 2016 election when we knew when he
Of
was
course
being.
it does. But
Yeah.
There's only so much he can do before the guy dies. It's going to take him decades to get
Cherokee's
through this
Rose
shit.
Daniel says, as of now, Jack Smith has 84 witnesses against Trump. And you know something?
Yes.
Not a
Oh,
one
yeah.
of them are Democrats.
And you know what? It's popping Trump's head that he can't talk about none of them.
Yeah. Oh, it's killing him. It's killing him. You
Yeah.
know it is, and
I-
you know
I
he's
think
going to
he's
slip
gonna-
up and do it.
Yes, he's going
Yes,
to break.
he's
He's
gonna
going to
break.
break. Yep.
He's going to get out there and talk about their mama or their sister or something. In their
Well, he had a
anti-Trump.
rally
They're,
today in
yeah.
Michigan. I'm sure he was talking about it.
What was that, Mitchy Chick?
I said he had a rally today in Michigan. I'm sure he was talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
About the
I'm
political
Yes,
persecution.
yes.
Sorry, no, it wasn't a rally. It was a function that he went to, a Lincoln Day dinner or something like that.
I hope he talks every chance they fucking put a mic in front of him.
You know, with them starting with these
I'm
fake
hoping
electors,
he-
and who was that just a second ago? Let me pull up a comment. Carol Lowe saying someone in the war room, Trump's hotel in Washington, D.C. is talking,
Yes.
LOL. Yes,
Yes.
they'll start with these fake electors. Go for the low-hanging fruit. You know they broke the law. You signed
and
your,
the guy-
your
You had a,
name to a
already did a
document
plea
you
deal
knew was
with-
false.
They already did a plea deal with this guy, and he's willing to come in and give him his proffer. And
Come on.
They will have his testimony on hand to throw at Trump's fucking face because they know he was involved.
Now,
Yep.
does this rock-hard evidence prove anything to the maggots? No.
No.
Not a
No.
thing. No, they don't believe any of it. It's all made-up bullshit from the federal government, and they're all just
Hey, you
political
know what?
persecution against the glorious leader.
Here's the thing, John. He doesn't have to prove it to the maggots. He has to prove it to 12 people on a fucking jury, and that's
There you
it.
go.
Have at
That's
it.
It
it.
only takes one.
Yeah,
only
there's
takes one
the
to fuck
scary
you up.
part. It only takes one, and you know they're gonna try to
Yeah,
get
but
to
you know
somebody.
what? It also only takes one count to send his ass to
Jail.
Trump for
Yeah.
20 to life.
I still haven't
20
gotten tired of every time I
One
see a
count.
political commercial running and they're using Trump over and over talking about classified documents and what he's going to do and all that stuff. I love it every time I see it. Run that
Yeah,
right up
20
their
to life.
butt. Because
One
that's what
fucking
he's
count.
built his
That's all he
whole
needs out of these
political
12
life on.
people.
Yeah.
And so
You know,
far,
Chris Christie.
he's
Chris-
got 2 indictments and over 70 fucking counts against him right now. And that's just the 2 indictments.
We ain't even
There's
got to
more coming.
Georgia. We haven't got to the
Nope.
January 6th
Nope.
grand jury yet. You know,
Chris Christie's out there reminding everyone about Georgia and J6 and all that. He's really out to get Trump. But the other side of Chris Christie is he made a statement he supports General Mattis. Well, that's an issue to deal with. But irrespective of that, his mouth is not hurting the Democratic campaign for anything, because he's out there making things worse for Trump.
Because
Thank God.
Christie's a prosecutor. He was a federal prosecutor for many, many years. He knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
And he also knows that Trump's ass is fucking cooked.
Man,
Okay?
you don't think
So-
that Jack Smith already had him zeroed in, and then after all of that, Donnie Boy
Here's
starts
the
talking
problem
about
we
his
have with-
wife? You don't think
here's
that
the-
focuses him just a little bit more? Yeah.
I'm
He's
sure it does,
ignorant.
but you know what, John? I don't think it focuses him. Because you know what? He doesn't need to be focused
doesn't
him.
need
He don't
anything.
give a fuck what Trump says. Everything Trump says can and will be used against him in a court of law.
Isn't that what our
And
documents
talking
say?
about his wife is one of those things
Yeah.
that can get him another charge. Please
As a
let
matter
him
of fact,
keep
when he
talking.
was arraigned, I think that was explained to him, that anything he says can be used against him in a
Yes.
court of law. I
Yes,
think they told him that right outright.
yep.
And yet,
It's
you
public
watch,
evidence.
Especially with a gag order.
And you know what?
he doesn't care.
That ain't nothing but more charges to his ass.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So, but again, it's not that he's a lying, stinking dirtbag. The problem is his supporters don't care. They accept that in
Yes,
him.
it is. Yes, it is. He's a
But
lying
again, I
dirtbag.
remind
They're
you,
found.
their numbers are going down, and they will
And-
continue
and
to
so is
diminish.
DeSantis is falling through the roof, off the high.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he's coming down, baby. He's falling through the floor.
they're
Yeah.
all losing support. They're all losing support.
Well, you know that's
Why would any Trump umpster
yeah.
vote for DeSantis when they could have Trump? They don't.
They
give
don't
a
want
shit
Trump
if this
Jr.
man
They
is
don't
in
want
prison.
Trump light.
Exactly. They don't
Right.
want a
In
Trump
Florida,
wannabe.
In
Yeah.
They'll
Florida, they
pick
run
Trump
a
before they pick DeSantis.
Trumpers
street
aren't
poll
changing
in
their
Florida.
mind. They're staying true to Trump. That's it. Plain and
And
simple.
They are
Chris
now
Christie-
at this point.
Here's the thing about Chris Christie. He could get out there and tell the truth now that he's running for presidency all he
But who
fucking
changed?
wants to. When
Yeah.
he was in the room, he chose to
Again,
do nothing.
some-
Let's not forget Chris Christie backed Trump for
Again, we have a
2020,
situation where the house was on
and
fire. Chris
2016.
Christie leaves and does not call the
and
fire
he was
department.
right there.
He was licking
He
his
was
boots.
right
Yes.
there.
Licking his
Yes,
boots.
and same way with
You know,
his Attorney General Bill Barr. You know,
All of them.
all of them.
them.
They
John
were all right
Bolton,
there. The house was on
Tillerson,
fire, and
anybody
they
who's
didn't give a
getting
shit.
up, all of them. They were right there, and they didn't do shit. And all of them.
And
all of them
Christie
except
is
for
that way,
Christie,
but I'm
because
all for him getting out
Christie
there and
didn't
running his mouth left and right. Just get out there and
but
say it
all
all.
of them.
he's
Here's the
a
thing, John.
billboard.
Here's the thing, you guys. All of them were in the room except for Chris Christie because he couldn't get a position. They all had the power to get together and pull the 25th Amendment and get that fucker out of his position.
And it's
they
not like
chose
that.
not
The 25th
to.
Amendment was not discussed because it was. Right?
chose
Yes.
not
You know what?
Right after
Right
the election,
now-
they were
right
talking
now-
about using it.
Right now, it's his best defense.
So where does this all lead? Again,
This leads to
he's not
Trump
trying to get
running for
elected. He's trying to
presidency.
raise an army.
Mhm.
That's where this is going.
They
But
polled
John,
a street
his
poll
army
in
is-
Florida.
His army, every week, one more person in his army goes to jail.
Goes to jail. You
So
think
his
they'd
army
get a
is
hint?
going to jail.
Let me get this out. In Florida, they run a street poll for 2 days in Florida about DeSantis and Disney, what the people thought, and 72% were in favour of Disney.
Of course.
So
Because
that's just
you
how
can guarantee
Florida's
that the
thinking.
72% got a job at Disney
You know,
and want to keep a job.
if you take a whole lot
Fair-
of
fair
the
enough,
issues, and abortion being a prime example, in Florida, Disney being the prime example, if you look at the nationwide attitude of things, overwhelmingly up in the 60%, regardless of what we're talking about, are more liberal in their thought. They're more Democratic leaning or independent leaning. the far right is a dwindling number for good reason, because nobody wants to go backwards. You know,
No.
we call it the future because we haven't gotten there yet. I don't want to go back to
What
where
do the
someplace we already been.
What
You
do
know?
the Arabs call it, John? When it's called when you die slowly? Death by 1,000 lashes.
Yes.
This is what Johnny's going through right now. He could have stopped it all by handing over documents, 1 lash, but now he's taken 1,000.
Yeah. What? For what?
He's made Jack Smith angry. He's made Smith angry.
He's
I'm
made
sure.
his ass out of himself on every interview. He's damn well confessed every time he's gotten on the TV with an interview. Yes, they're my documents. These are my boxes. All the whole shit is right there. You know,
He's
but
still
he
quoting
keeps
the
digging a
Presidential
hole.
Act.
Huh?
He's still quoting the Presidential Documents Act at his rally. the
Yes.
last
Oh,
rally.
that's his
He
big
said
thing.
they don't know.
It's the
They're
This has
saying
nothing
they
to do.
don't know the law.
Yeah, because this has nothing to
He
do with the
knows the
Presidential
law.
Records Act. This has everything to do with confidential and top secret documents. Information
Yes.
that he knew he had. And like I always say, what do you think he wanted that kind of information for? And they keep pointing to all the other presidents that had, look at there, he had some. What kind of documents? They weren't those. They weren't those kind of documents, no. He had military secrets for a reason, because he knows that that's what could get him a Trump Tower in Moscow or
It's always transactional with
yes,
this guy.
yes, there's always a deal.
What's the latest one? What's the latest one in Aden or
He's-
Aden? He's got
In Oman, he's got a
Oman.
big
yeah.
a big luxury project going on down there. Saudi Arabia just gave in $2 billion
It's
into it.
not
$2 billion worth.
It's not
Yeah.
his. It's his name is on it, and he gets the right to the first 30 years of total
30
management.
years of management. That's where Donnie gets his money. He sells his name.
Yep.
He doesn't own the building. They're not going to give him all that property and all those
His
hotels.
name's beginning to only amount to zero.
And right now there are signs with his name on it leading into the road in this place in Oman, where they're building this luxury place where, you know, the cheapest the cheapest property is gonna be $13 million. What kind of neighborhood do you think it's gonna be? It ain't made
where
for
is
your
Mr.
ass.
Trump? Oh, well, he's in jail, sir.
Here's the question.
What?
The hell did he have to give Oman to have his name put on this
That
house?
will, yes. It cost you guys somewhere.
Oh, it costs us. And that's how come I keep saying every document that he has, you have to
Yeah.
assume that it has been compromised. You've
Yep.
got to change some plans up all over the place out there, because everything he had, you have to assume he sold it already. He's already transmitted that to Pooty, probably. Every
Well,
bit
it's
of it.
found next to a photocopier.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw the photocopier
Yeah.
in that picture.
So did the
Okay.
FBI and
You
Jack
wasn't
Smith.
supposed to notice that. You were
Yeah.
just supposed to be enthralled with all the boxes.
That's not
Yeah,
the copier you're
exactly.
looking for.
What you
Yes.
see and what you hear is not what's really happening. What the fuck is happening?
So come
Well,
I
it's
say,
not what
everything
you
that's
see and
happened,
what you hear.
we are witness to. That's what kills me. Everything. From 2016 forward, we're all witness to the bullshit that he tried. All the way up to right now, the crap he's still trying to pull, we are still the witnesses in this case. You, me. So
Can
we
you
can't
imagine the
shove
history
this
books in
off
this
on
guy?
somebody else. This is our shit to deal with. I
The
keep
history
looking at the wrong
books are going
camera.
to write him up as a real bad person that infiltrated America somehow. But he's not going to look good in history when they teach history in 20 years' time, if they still teach it. I hope
Well,
they
you know,
do.
Dave, that
They need
depends on
to.
who's writing the history, huh?
Well, this is true, but people learn by history. If you forget history,
If we're
you
allowed
repeat
to
it.
read it.
Correct.
Yeah,
But hopefully,
they don't
once
burn
the
that book.
evangelists and the Nazi party are out of the GOP, things will get back to normal.
There you go.
Because you haven't been normal for a while. Biden's doing a good
We
job
haven't been
fighting,
normal
getting
for
you
a
back
long time.
on even keel. But everything he does, they don't. That no one's out there saying, well, like Biden's out there saying, look at me, look what I've done. He's out there doing a job in the background while Trump's making a loud noise, and he's getting things done for America. and he's not getting the recognition for it.
Boy, howdy.
This is,
Yeah.
I just find it hard that one idiot can take control of the press, and I think that's one of his
That's one of
you
his
know,
superpowers, I
controlling
guess.
ways. Yeah,
Because if you turn
controlling
on
the press.
TV or look at anything on the internet, it's Trump, Trump, Trump all the way. He loves this thing.
They
Anyway,
don't want to see
Well, you know,
Biden's job numbers up on the front page.
yeah, I'd like to see all it. Well, there is other news, but if he opens his mouth, yeah, it's plastered all over the place. That's all you see. It's sickening, because half of it is just bullshit, utter bullshit. But they make news out of it because we have a 24-hour news cycle, and something's got to be happening. Anyway.
Something.
Let me thank Keith Thompson, came in again with another $2 and said, Chris Christie shut down a highway system in New York. What the fuck? Yeah. So we're not dealing with an angel here, and good luck on his side over there.
You know what Joe Biden did? Joe Biden helped Pennsylvania get Interstate 95 back up within 2
In
weeks.
record speed.
Yes,
In record
that made
speed.
news here too.
Yeah.
And see, it's that kind of thing that we need to be touting about
Yeah.
our current president, who is actually doing
A
the
lot
job.
of things. A lot of things. As a matter of
Gotta
fact, I
go,
said this
guys.
before, I need a list. I really do, because
Yes.
there's too much.
And the list is long.
It
John.
is. It is. Infrastructure, jobs, the economy itself is stabilizing
The chip
out.
program,
Uh,
the veterans bill.
Yes.
I mean, it is
Yes,
Gun
so much
legislation.
that man has been doing.
International relationships are far
Yes.
back on top. Everything's great. International. International, I love dealing with Biden.
But yet we sit
and
here in the
Trump.
news, and if you open up the news, half the news is up there going, oh, poor old Joe Biden's too old to do this job anymore, and look here, I don't know how he can win. If it's up against Trump, maybe Trump will win. Fuck you.
You know,
I'd
like I
put
said
Trump up
before,
against him
I
any
don't-
day. I
I
mean,
don't
put
care
Biden up
if
against him any
Biden
day.
is in an iron lung the day that voting day comes up.
If he's in an
November
iron lung, I'm still
2024.
voting for him.
I'm voting
You
for
bet
him.
your ass. The Republican
I've
Party
gotta
has
go,
shown
guys.
itself that you got to go.
Gotta go. Remember, truck is here.
All right.
Ciao, buongiorno. See you later, Angie. See you later, Bernadette. See you later, Mitchik. See you later, John. Good night, everyone.
Good.
Be careful out there, dude.
Be careful. Thanks,
No,
Dave, for
mate.
being here, brother.
I'll be right. I'm only using a little chainsaw.
Well,
All right, stay
well,
blessed.
don't
dude,
cut a
okay?
finger off then. Ah. Oh, man,
Hey,
he is
I
a
got
character.
a little chainsaw.
I do too. I got a medium
love it.
chainsaw and a little chainsaw.
Well, I got a really big chainsaw and I got a really
Yeah.
little one.
I don't want to use either one of them right now.
Oh, listen to you too.
Anything that needs cutting around here, I'm calling somebody
Look,
else to do
My
it.
chainsaw's
my-
bigger than your chainsaw.
No, my chainsaw, because the other one belongs to my son, is 6 inches, and I love the hell out of this.
Oh, you got one of those little tree trimming things. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are handy for a lot of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're not cutting down a tree, you
wonderful.
just go out there zit, zit, zit all over the place.
Yeah, if you just want to take off a couple of branches, this is the tool, man, and
Yeah.
I love this thing, man.
I just bought me a chainsaw on a stick, and I took it over a friend of mine's house to have him put it together for me. And I've been looking at these things. I'm like, oh
A
God, he's got to
chainsaw and
hurry
a
up.
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I'm going. I
Yeah,
can get
pole saw.
outside and everything. Yeah.
yeah, it's a
pole
pole
saw.
saw.
Yeah, I can't wait.
No, I like her
can't wait.
description of it. A chainsaw and
It
a
is a
stick sounds
chainsaw
more
and a stick.
impressive
Everybody should have a chainsaw
on a stick. Yes, they should. You don't go out and get that close to whatever the hell it is you're cutting. Oh, yeah,
That's
I've got
funny.
some cutting to do around here, but it makes me nervous because everything I need to cut is right above my house.
Yep.
Yeah, you cut it, you better cut it in very small pieces.
I've got a big old pecan tree that umbrellas my backyard, and I
Oh,
love
man.
it. It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah,
Messy.
But that thing, you got to get it off the roof. And at my age, I am not climbing up on no roof.
Yeah.
I heard
So
that.
that was a reason for the chainsaw on the stick, because that way I can get halfway up on the ladder and still be able to cut those low-hanging branches.
well, I'm about to get up on my roof because the other day, yesterday, I was out in the back on the porch with a water hose, with the sprinkler thing, trying to get it up on the roof to cool the roof off, maybe cool the inside. I don't
Right.
know, I'm desperate. And, and as I'm doing it, I'm noticing all this shit that has fallen from the trees over the years and is still up on my roof, limbs and branches
Yep.
and shit. You know, we sit here in the house sometimes at night, and all of a sudden you hear a big thump,
Yeah.
and you go, "What the fuck was that?" It's a limb falling on top of the house.
Yeah.
So occasionally I got to get up there and get them things off. But yeah, it didn't work very well. I think it might have cooled it off for about 10 seconds or something until it evaporated up and just made more steam. So, but I want to commend my two sons, Travis and Tyler. I got up the other morning. Did I already tell this story, Bernadette?
The one about painting the roof on the
I guess I did.
Travis's. Well, you said that you wanted to, and it was way too hot.
Well, I got up the other morning, went out there, had my coffee, and watching the news, and all of a sudden, shit, hours go by, and all of a sudden, Travis and Tyler walk in the front door. It's like, hey, what the hell are y'all doing? And they were out there painting that building early in the morning, and they got it covered, and it did make a significant difference. Travis said yes. It brought the temperature down quite a bit. They painted the roof and all the walls. As a matter of fact, Tyler said he was up there with the bucket of paint, just pouring it onto the roof and spreading it out. So it's
right on.
Yeah.
They did the side walls too.
Yep. Did the whole thing.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
And really looks pretty.
What I've been doing the last couple of months is stocking the refrigerator to make sure that there's plenty of meat in there and stuff. Because now, up till probably about November, the electric bill is going to be.
I'm not looking forward to this, darling. I know it is. I don't think there's an air conditioner in my house that has been off. At night, it's still over 80. You know, it's pretty brutal down here right now. And if it's not bad enough, we already got warning through the local news today that the possibility of a grid failure. We're under an extreme weather watch for the next few days for our grid because Texas has its own grid. And, Greg Abbott, he fixed all that stuff. Yeah, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't fix shit.
I never did understand why they don't get on the regular thing with everybody else.
Well, include our grid along in the national power grid. No, Texas has its own.
Y'all in Texas and y'all special.
Yeah. But, I'm hoping not. If it is, I'm prepared. I'm ready to switch over to the generator, and I know exactly what's going on. And so,
Yep.
But it'll have to cycle. If you're going to have to use a major appliance or something for something's got to be turned off to turn on something else. But
you got your gas jugs filled just in case there's no pumps anywhere that'll turn on.
Better yet, I have all my propane.
Oh,
all my propane tanks, because I'll go through those first before I delve into the gas.
There you go.
Because if we lose power, I might need the gas for the truck or the car. Not the truck. The truck ain't going nowhere. If we have trouble, we did get it. But yeah, we could be having a power failure. So if one day I just don't show up.
And this is all the result of climate change, y'all. Mishy Chick earlier was that today or yesterday that you posted that article about NASA and the their time lapse video that they did on carbon emissions around the world, because that was truly an amazing little film that they put together. It wasn't you?
It wasn't me.
Where was it posted?
This was posted on Discord. I saw it earlier today when I logged in. But it's an amazing, over in the Blue Room, under main discussion, there's a post from, and I'm looking it up right now. Anyway, it was about NASA. They did a short video on the carbon emissions around the world.
Right.
It's a time-lapse video. And they did it in the year of 2021. And it shows the industrialized nations emitting carbon all over, from a satellite's point of view,
right,
in 3 different locations on the planet. They showed the whole entire planet and the countries that were emitting the most carbon in the world, and the heat sinks or the carbon sinks around the world, like the ocean and the
Right.
large forests and the poles, absorbing the carbon while we're emitting the carbon. These areas in the world are trying to absorb the carbon, and they did this over a year. And within that year's amount of time, those places that were absorbing the carbon emissions from around the world from fossil fuel burning, because we know that's what's causing this,
Sure.
the whole entire planet was covered in the fossil fuel emission. And it was just an amazing, eye opening thing to see that, this is what's happening to our planet on an annual basis. And we're never going to get it cleared up if we don't stop.
This is something
This
that
is
we've
what we're
known
leaving to the children.
for so long, but the problem is that the change is happening gradually, so gradually that yeah, it's a little warmer today, but don't worry, it'll be fine. We're getting into that weather patterns of no, this is not normal. Uh,
Yeah.
these temperatures that I'm seeing now, I'm used to. In August, I'm used to seeing this temperature in August. Occasionally, up in August, gets up to 100 and something degrees, but not in June. And that's a big strike on my head to think, hey, and it is. You have to realize that in all probability, they're downplaying the scenario as much as they can. So, it's not good for business. If you got there screaming the world's going to end in a few days, everybody's going to go apeshit. But if we don't get our shit together, and we have the technologies to do it, I'm afraid it's going to step up a whole lot faster than what we realize. And they talk about us hitting a tipping point where we can't go back. That's
Yeah.
that's scary.
Yeah,
Scary.
and basically what you saw in this film was that tipping point. It was pretty amazing,
Yeah.
man.
Scary. Tipping point.
Yeah.
That point you reached, no matter what you do, you ain't backing up.
No, you can't go backwards.
So, what does that mean for the masses? We already know about the Betsy DeVosses and the ultra wealthy of the world. They have underground bunkers, probably with generators and air scrubbers in there that's going to last them 50 years. I don't know. They got money to survive if they get to it. If they can get to it, But for the rest of the masses of the world, already over in Bangladesh and India and all, they're talking about record uh, uh, famine over there, the lack of water.
Wait, was it last year or the year before that? There was a humongous garbage dump fire in India that just burned for weeks and weeks and weeks, and the amount of carbon that was cut. It was a spontaneous fire. The damn thing just caught on fire, and they couldn't put it out because it's a garbage heap.
Yeah.
That
It's just going to keep smoldering and smoldering and burning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the people that are affected by the smoke that comes off of that are the poor people of the world, because they have to live next to these sites,
The bad
And
thing is, every year there are more and more poor people in the world than there
Yes.
are wealthy people.
Yes.
Yeah. It's what did Tammy Ames say earlier? There, for the grace of God, go I. This affects, this climate thing is going to affect everybody on the world. Everybody. Ain't nobody going to get out of this shit if we don't make a
crazy,
big
man.
change. Now, I love to, anytime I go in any direction, I run into, I can see windmills, wind-powered generators, wind
Uh-huh.
turbines. I don't want to get the wrong word, so he's going to get after me. Wind turbines around me. I love to see it, and it's a step in the right direction. Every day you see more and more advertisements for electric cars. Maybe we're going to get there. Maybe we're going to get off the gasoline so bad, but guess what? Lithium has its own problems. So,
Yeah.
it's a forever search for how we're going to get out of this mess.
John,
Hello, DJ. How in the hell are you?
pretty good. Kudos on your rant today. I thought it was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Bernadette, we have
Yes.
a garbage dump, whatever you want to call it, in North St. Louis that has been burning in spots for years now, and it has another problem. It was used to dump nuclear waste, and the waste has leached out into the creek running beside the garbage dump and into the
Oh,
property of the
wonderful.
people in the subdivisions. And all these people in the subdivision that's next to the garbage dump, they've all been exposed. Their houses are completely filled with radiation. They've all been exposed to it. Several of them have died because of it. And it's just a mess.
It is a mess. But this is what we're doing
This is,
to
yeah,
humanity on this planet.
that's the cost of what
And
we do.
the planet can't sustain it,
Yeah.
and neither can the population.
No,
Neither can the population.
at some point in time,
But we don't
human
need
race,
places like, according to the Supreme Court of the United States, we don't need government agencies like the EPA regulating these places. We don't need that.
We don't need that. Scott
No.
Pruitt showed us that. We can get rid of that whole thing. We don't need
right.
Yeah,
environmental protection. Who needs that kind
No.
of shit?
They have,
No,
Yeah.
website.
they
You
have
don't need to have your water regulated or your air or any of the rest of that shit or the pollution coming out of these factories that are dumped right into neighborhoods.
Yes.
supposedly we are in the fifth
Let's
age.
worry about banning books and shit like that instead of banning that crap.
Yeah. Your fear of your child being transgenders is a little slim compared to the chances that they're going to die of some
Did you see the
cancer
woman on
caused by
TikTok?
some shit that
John?
we're. What's that?
Did you see the woman on TikTok that has a solution for guns in the United States?
No, I haven't, but we need that solution.
Well, she said that we ought to buy very high priced, meaning not high priced in terms of what you pay, but very large amounts of life insurance on our children. And when they have a school shooting and these insurance companies have to pay out all this money, the insurance company, she said, will get behind doing
she
something
might have
about
a point
the
there.
firearm.
She might have a point there because just recently, within the last month, 2 insurance companies pulled out of the state of California because of the high cost of wildfires in this state. They
Yeah,
are no longer
exactly.
insuring
It's not
homes
profitable
in this state. It's not profitable.
Yeah. Well,
They
I think
won't insure
I
Florida
think they
either.
ought. You ought. If you own a weapon, you ought to have gun insurance. You ought to have insurance in case the damn thing hurts somebody. You have insurance
No,
in your
no.
car.
No,
Everything
he's
else.
right. Life insurance on your children and your people.
if
Life
there's
insurance.
a school shooting and the children are maimed or killed, they would have to pay. Say you got $1 million policy, they have to pay $1 million on each
And,
child.
and for a young child, $1 million policy would be relatively cheap.
Yes, exactly.
It would be
wouldn't-
relatively cheap.
I wouldn't call that life insurance. I'd call that death insurance.
It is death insurance.
Yeah.
But isn't that what insurance is about
That's what
anyway?
insurance. Any
Yep.
insurance is you're betting against yourself. You're
Life
betting that you're
insurance
going to
is
have an
not-
accident of some sort, so you need that insurance. Your house is going to burn down, so you need insurance.
No, they're not betting you're going to live. That's for sure.
No, they want you to live, so you can make them payments all your life.
You're making them payments.
That's right, baby. It's not your
So they
life
can pay
that
off
they're.
the other ones who don't make it.
It's that's a sweet business to be in, it ain't it? Because you have to have insurance for everything from medical insurance, car insurance, house insurance, life insurance, insurance on this, insurance on
but
that.
not gun insurance.
You
You're
get business
right about that.
insurance.
Should
Life
not have
insurance?
gun insurance.
Yeah, we should have gun insurance. You should have your gun
They,
insured in case somebody uses your gun in a violent crime that causes harm to others. You're responsible for that, so you got to pay.
There was
That's
a
easy.
company that actually did that, but the federal government put them out of business because
Yeah.
they didn't think it was legal.
What makes me not surprised to hear that? You know, if there's one thing our government is known for, is that is standing up for that Second Amendment. You know, they'll argue over everything till we get a solution on something, but the Second Amendment, no way, they're not budging a bit, baby. They want everybody to be packing iron out there. That's the sad thing. You know, that's how we ended up with the lady getting shot when she's having, because of the gun culture in this whole country. It's the gun. When the gun is the only answer, it's the only answer you're going to get.
Well,
Shoot 'em.
Thank God they've arrested those cops for murder.
Yes, they've all been charged with murder, and they've all been bonded out because, you know, they're cops. They're good citizens,
Doesn't
I
help
guess.
that lady much. Though.
No, it doesn't help that family at all. That deed
No.
is done. and it's plastered all over everybody's TV so everybody can see that there was no threat. There was no need for what you see. None. And no
I haven't
excuse
seen
could be
it.
given.
Did you say it was a tack hammer or a regular?
It's a hammer, but it's just
Okay.
like the one I pull. If I was going to go nail nails through a 2x4, that's not the hammer I'm grabbing. I'll be there all day tapping with that thing.
More like a
It's a
small,
small
finish
one,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
very small hammer.
It's a finishing hammer
Yeah, finish hammer
for finish nails.
for little tiny tacks and shit.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
don't over
It's
smash
not a
them.
22-inch
Yeah, I
claw.
call it a tack hammer. That's what I call it, a tack hammer.
Yeah, it's a tack hammer, and that's and they shot her through the window. She's well into the house. I mean, she's not right there in the window. She's probably 5 or 6, at least 7 feet away from the window. But she
It's what
turned
said,
towards the
John.
window, and the officers feared that she was going to throw it at him through the window.
They're cowards. Those cops are cowards.
In my book,
Oh, that's
none
true.
of them should have been an
Like he
officer to
couldn't
begin
walk.
with.
Oh my God.
You know, and the guy, I won't call him a gentleman, the idiot that went in and attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband with a
With a
hammer.
hammer.
He was hitting the man in the head with the hammer,
Yeah.
and they managed to take him alive.
Yes.
They went in and tackled his ass and got the hammer
You
out
know
of
why?
his hand.
Because it was a hammer. You know, you're,
Yeah.
as an officer, you're trained in self-defense. You know,
Well,
not
John,
so.
I keep bringing up the example of my brother every time we talk about this. He's a retired police sergeant, and there was a guy standing in Wall Lake, Michigan. Probably know where that is, Mr. Chick. Anyway, he was standing on the balcony, second floor of his apartment, naked, with a shotgun. My brother didn't wait for backup. He went around back, came up the back of the apartment, and he took the guy out without drawing his weapon or anything. He took him down, tackled him, and cuffed him. Okay, what? And that guy had a shotgun.
You know,
The whole point is if you can't be a coward and be a police officer.
there are times when force is obviously necessary, and we've
Well, he
seen
didn't
lots
hurt
of
him.
occasions of that.
He
Where,
didn't
where
hurt the guy. He just put him in cuffs. He took him down, put him in cuffs.
and,
You
and,
know,
and
that kind of thing requires.
that's exactly what should have been happening in this case. She should
Yes,
have been apprehended, cuffed, and then put in an ambulance and taken to the hospital.
Here's the thing. He feared that she was gonna throw the hammer at him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, through the window.
Okay. Check this out. She's plumb crazy out of her mind, and everybody fucking knows it. He's supposed to be a sane officer of the law. Like, he couldn't and wouldn't have time to move out the way of the flying hammer, and at that same time, 2 more rush in and tackle the fuck out of her because she would be disarmed
There
at
you
that
go.
point.
Once you do
Yeah.
the hammer and you duck, which is what anybody would do, anybody,
Hey,
she's not
hey.
armed anymore.
you know, some Matrix move you can do.
20
doing
shots.
fucking slow motion.
20 shots.
And once he started shooting, everybody else started shooting.
It is a pack mentality thing with officer shootings. If there's more than one officer on the scene and one fires, you bet your ass they're all going to fire. Because, hey, he shot. And it doesn't matter if if the guy ends up with 20 bullet holes in him. Oh, well, he deserved it. You know, it's that mentality. But again, I argue the point that in a nation full of guns, what do you expect? You expect anything different out of our citizens or our police? We see mass shootings on a daily basis in this country. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go shoot some people. You see the response for officers. Sometimes
You know,
it's
she probably, with the way that they make windows nowadays, she probably would have threw the fucking hammer and it wouldn't even
Probably
break the
wouldn't have
fucking
broke the handle.
window.
the only glass I heard breaking was when the officer shot. That's the sound of the breaking. Go listen to it yourself. The first shot, that's when I hear glass. So I don't know for sure, but did he shoot through a closed window? If that window was not already broken, open, something, then what threat is that fucking hammer? Because if you throw the hammer at the window, it's going to break the window, but then it's going to fall to the ground. So, and this isn't rocket science.
They don't
This
have
is
bean bags that can shoot at somebody without. I mean, there are less lethal weapons that they could have used
a
on
taser.
this
They
woman.
all have tasers, don't they?
And we're talking about
that's
grown-ass men as opposed to
three
a woman.
of them. 3 of them. And they all
But it
drew
didn't
their
happen,
weapon
did it?
on a lady with a hammer.
All the scenarios that should have happened didn't.
It's sad. It is
Because
sad.
Here we are again.
Because he feared for his life, and that's qualified immunity, and that's what's on the books, and that's all that they have to say is that I feared for my life and the safety of others, and they get away with murder in front of our faces every time.
BW sitting here saying there was another woman beaten up and arrested. She was 70 and having a mental issue also. She had locked herself in the bathroom. Oh, well, let's just beat the shit out of her and put her in jail. Because, that'll fix it. The mental health in this country is we're a long way. Because any mental health issues that somebody has right now, chances are there's 100 goddamn mental health hospitals in your town. They're all private and going to charge you out the wazoo if you have insurance.
It's insane.
There's
It's
lots of
insane,
mental health. There's lots
John.
of mental hospitals.
My family is dealing with this as we speak. It is an insane system. that is not to the benefit of the person that has
Nor the
mental health
family.
issues.
Again, I remind
the
you
family.
that I grew
If
up
you
with a mother.
can even find the help, because they make it so difficult to find the
Help.
fucking help.
And when you
There you
do
go.
get it, it's not what you're expecting. I've told my story before. My mother had mental issues all her life. Since I was a young kid, 8, 9 years old, I remember my mother being in mental hospitals over my lifetime. She suffered with a lot. During periods in between those times, she held jobs. She was a nurse's aide at a hospital. She did fine. But then she would cycle into a Great Depression and had a lot of problems. It would end up in a hospital. And it cycled until, like I said, one day I ended up having to do that myself. But I didn't have the money for a hospital anymore. I had to have her committed. And I had to go in front of a judge. And I will never, for the rest of my days, ever forget how that system made me feel when all I was trying to do was try to get the best help I could for my mother at the time. But I went into a legal court, and baby, you walk out of there feeling like the lowest heel you ever found, like a scumbag. It is not conducive for our society to benefit when we treat people that have issues. And we see there's plenty of them. On the street, they're called homeless. A lot of them have mental issues.
And yet, the first thing the right wing in this country will say when there's a mass shooting, oh, he had mental health issues.
Of course. How'd he get the gun? Well, he didn't have mental health issues when he went and bought the gun. Only after he bought the gun and killed a bunch of people. Oh, then he had mental issues. Yeah, it says kind of shit. Yeah. I don't know how to fix it, baby. I wish I did.
Broken.
The only way that I know to fix it is by our participation in our society, in our system, everything. And again, I caveat it by saying you don't have to be a maniac and go out and commit everything in your life to it. But when the issues arise around you, we can all recognize them. And we should participate in what we have available to us, whether it be your vote, whether it be a 2 for blue. I'm going to throw that up there again because this is my guy. This is my state. Come on now. I'm trying my best to turn this state blue. I want Texas to turn blue. And if we can't beat Ted Cruz, boy, howdy, things are worse than I thought here in Texas. Because Ted Cruz, everybody knows, is the lying-ass Cancun Ted Cruz scumbag who licks Donnie's ass every time he gets a chance, even though Donnie slapped his wife upside the head and said, hey, you're ugly. Ted says, that's okay. But if you can got a few extra bucks, throw it throw it to Colin Allred, because we need Texas to turn blue, because we need this whole
Yes, we
country to
do.
start
The
trending.
whole country needs Texas to
and,
turn
and
blue.
we stand a good chance, if we're lucky, to start that impact because of the crises that face this nation with mass shootings, with abortion, with transgender and gay rights, with Disney being attacked. I think the whole country is seeing, hey, the right's gone a little nut job, haven't they? Yes, they have.
Not a
Yes,
little.
they have. Let's don't call the police, go, because hell, they might shoot them. You know, it's what are we doing, baby? We got to fix this. We have to. And the country is trending in that direction.
We have that chance in
The
2024.
pendulum swings, baby. What's that?
We have 33 Senate seats
That's right.
in 2024 plus one. There's a special election, but there's 20 Democrat seats up. There's 10 Republican seats, 3 independents, and then there was the one Republican special.
Yeah. It's not just about the top office, baby. It's about all of it.
It's not. It's not. I mean, Jesus Christ, you know, I'm waiting for the candidate in
while we're at it.
the first district of New York to pop, who's going to be running against George Santos.
Yes.
I'm watching that district. And as
Yeah,
soon
that's
as
in the
we got a
House.
candidate in that district, we'll be popping that name
think,
up. But you know,
There's a Missouri
this
candidate,
list is
John. I don't know the name yet, but whoever it is running against Josh Hawley. Josh.
Well,
running
make
against
sure you
him.
get his
Yeah.
name in the Two for Blue in the Discord. Travis put
Wesley
his.
Yep.
Ball and Lucas Kuntz are both running against
I
Hawley.
saw yours, Miss Chick.
Yeah,
So,
Lucas Kuntz did not make it in the primaries for the last election, so he's going to try again, huh?
I
Okay.
guess I don't know that much about him. I just know that those two are running.
Well, he lost to Trudy Bush in the primary, and then she lost to the Republican in the election.
your representative is resigning, right, Miss Chick? Or
Yes,
retiring?
she is.
Retiring.
She is retiring.
Yes. So yours
She's
is
been
an
there a
open
long
seat.
time. She's done an excellent job. Believe it or not, I think her mother is still living, and I think that's
Wow.
part of it. Is she's ready to just take care
Have
of
a
her
life.
mother and have a life.
have a
Well,
lot. Yeah.
be present while life is finishing up,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yes. Absolutely. Because that's
I
important
think
too.
I should
It
run
is.
for office in Michigan. I could do a better job than those people. You know, the ones that
Well,
are.
we got Alyssa Slatkin is running in her place. There's actually quite a few running.
Okay.
Hell, I'd run down here. I think I could beat my congressman's ass off.
With the
Unfortunately,
audience
it
you
would
have,
start
you
with
probably could.
that kind of shit, so I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
make it too far. I'd end up in jail.
Need that slapping
Get
law.
me on the debate. Yeah, I'd walk right over to Lippy. What did you say? Said, shut up and go over there and sit down.
No, I've run for office before, and I can tell you this much: it's a nasty process.
Oh, it's a nasty
People
game.
are dirty, and they call
Isn't
you
that
names
sad
and tell
that
words
we
about
can't
you.
have elections based on integrity or a vision for the future unless it's wrapped up in some kind of bullshit that they want you to hate your neighbor for some reason.
Yeah, and they made my wife
Yeah.
cry. Some of the things that they said.
Kind of like hazing, you know. Everybody's got to get hazed
Yeah.
when you go into something.
Oh yeah, we're gonna give it to
This
you,
is-
buddy. You know,
But we'll
it's
have a lot more too for blues coming up. This is just the start of
just
it.
the first one.
There'll be a candidate close to you that you feel like you'll need to support. And so
Yes.
we're gonna have quite a few two for blues.
And again,
in
I urge
all
people
candidates.
that
That
are
is
in a
work.
safe district, your senators blue, your congressman's blue, your governors, everything's happy and rosy.
Or
We need
unopposed,
your
maybe?
help in the states that aren't, that are battlefield states. Texas is one of them. You know,
John,
yes,
the state of Missouri. I don't know if you ever listened to Jess Piper on TikTok. She said, and she ran for office and lost for Congress, state Congress,
right?
and she said the local offices, 40% of the Republicans are in there because 40% ran unopposed during
Yeah.
2022.
That's a
That
problem.
happens a lot. That's how
Yeah.
Sporkfoot got in the 14th district in Georgia.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's not an opponent,
that's
that's
how
how.
she got
Isn't
in.
that how Marjorie Taylor Greene got in?
That's exactly
Yes.
who I'm talking
Didn't
about.
have an opponent. Yeah.
Sporkfoot.
Yeah. So it's important, even in places like Georgia's 14th district. Ain't that her district, 14?
Yes, the 14th,
14th
district
district.
of Georgia.
You have to get out and vote. Even if you
Have
know
to
you're
get
going to
out
get your
and vote.
ass kicked. You got to show up, baby. That's
Yep.
the whole ticket. Even if you know I know I'm going to lose. I'm in a gerrymandered district. Damn near every time I go to the voting booth, I know the outcome before I get there. But I still have to go because I'm still in the game, baby. You can't run off the field and just say, "Oh, screw it," because your teammates are depending upon you, and that's what this is. We're all teammates in this stuff. So we got to pump each other up. We got to give it the old college try, they say, I tell y'all all the time, I am nothing but a cheerleader. That's my job here. I should have pom-poms here. Because that's just trying to motivate and get people interested enough to participate. Every time we get around, I still look at Johnny Fly as, man, that guy, he got on this show and he started talking. Next thing you know, he went down and volunteered at his local Democratic headquarters and got involved. And next thing you know, he's got all sorts of pictures with candidates and meeting them and all that stuff. Yes. And it's a great journey. Like I say, if you go volunteer, if you go up there or just get on the phone with them, if you're not into making phone calls or knocking on doors, you won't have to do that. There's lots of things, stuffing envelopes or whatever, to be able to help your local Democratic initiative, even if you know that there's no chance in winning. It's the fight, baby. You adapt, you overcome, you move forward. It's the fight. You got no other choice in life except to do those things. That's the way I look at everything in life. You adapt, you overcome, you move forward. Because if you don't, what's the result? Yeah, I'm not here. That's what the result is. So I want to be here. I want you to be here. I want everybody listening to be involved and be concerned enough about our future democracy that we be involved. Everything from our national politics right down to your local politics. It matters who's on your police department. It matters how your police department is trained. Things matter. That's why we're here. Anyway, ain't that why we're here?
That's why
we're here. To make a difference.
And you do have two pom-poms. One's Missy Chick and the other one is me.
That's true, baby. I'm the first one to point out. I look down there before I start every show, baby. I'm looking for those two names, Miss Chick and Bernadette. I know I can start the show, and I'm going to be all right. Because this ain't easy sometimes. I'll be the first one to tell you, there's days I don't want to come in here. I don't want to do this. I got this shit on my mind. I'm scared about a lot of things right now. Politics isn't one of them. But I've said it before too. Y'all don't understand what a release this show is for me.
No, we all come in here to make it through all of this together.
One more day,
That's
baby.
what we do. That's what family
That's
does.
what we do.
That's why we're here.
And Keith
To make
Thompson,
it through this together.
Keith Thompson, thank you, buddy. 3 times tonight. Third time, Keith just came in with $5. Oorah, thank you, Marine. And said, John, run for an office. Blue Dot's got your back. When more people hear you in the truth, we will grow the blue.
Yes, absolutely. He's absolutely right.
John, have you heard from KY? I haven't seen
I
him.
have not seen his name in the chat tonight. I don't know where he is.
I haven't seen him in here for the last week or two.
I saw something online from him.
He's been around.
Yeah, he's been around.
but he's not here tonight.
Maybe he has, I don't know, maybe a date
They might
tonight.
have had a
or,
little weather in
or,
his area.
Yeah,
too.
might have
Well,
some
it
weather.
was 101 today here in St. Louis.
Well, there you go. There you go. Welcome to my world. Ain't it? It sucks. What's your humidity?
I don't know. I didn't check, but I mowed the lawn this morning when it was 90 plus.
I ain't doing that. I ain't getting out there. I keep looking at it because I got a new mower. I want to get out there and mow. Well, howdy. You step out that door and you think different real quick. It's hell. Anyway, I guess we're going to wrap it up.
Early morning, John.
Early morning. Like, you put headlights on that thing and do it in the dark.
There you go.
That ain't much better, though. Again, our lows are in the 80s. Shit. 81 for a low last night. I feel like temperature of about 90. Huh?
You're gonna have to put an attachment on your lawnmower, and it's just an umbrella.
An umbrella? How about an
And a
air
mister.
conditioner? I'll just put a little.
So you can have some shade at least.
Oh, I did. As a matter of fact, I use Tony Boyd, a long time ago, had sent me a couple of hats, and I am very particular about my hats. And so he sent me a very fancy one, and then another more rugged-looking one. And I've worn the fancy-looking one twice.
Okay.
I have my resist all that I always wear. But the one he sent me that is more rugged, it's got bigger holes in it. So it's that lets a lot of airflow through while still having a brim to protect you from. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I talked to him today. So Tony, if you're out there, I told him too. So you know, hat you sent me. Yep, that's one I wear when I mow. Keeps my neck from burning to death. But yeah. Anyway, I had a great conversation with one of our Blue Dots, Tony, today, and yeah, I like to stay in touch with our Blue Dots, baby. Any of them I can. Mark, if you're out there, I hope you're doing fine, buddy. Anyway, I guess we'll
Still
call it.
93 degrees here.
What is it?
93 degrees.
Yeah, see, this ain't just down here. This is all over the place. Tell me that's normal. This ain't
No,
normal.
it's not.
Not for this long.
No.
Maybe a day or two, but when you're talking 2 weeks and you got another week to go, that's not normal. So, anyway, as Lady Freedom would say, keep on rocking in the free world. And
That's what she
that's
just
what we're
said,
going to do. So, anyway, Angie, thank you. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. DJ, get your ass out of here. Anyway.
What do you want?
I do
What?
this backwards,
What
baby.
time?
The gentlemen go out first. I'll save the ladies for the last. As well it should be. Anyway,
Okay,
DJ,
well,
thank you for coming in, brother. We appreciate it.
no problem. Thank you for having me. And I wanted to tell you one thing.
What?
I had 4,101 followers now.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
So,
And that's on TikTok, right?
right.
Outstanding. Y'all go check DJ out. That's JC the Hippie, right?
Yes, on TikTok. JC
On,
the Hippie.
on TikTok, JC the Hippie. Go check him out. 4,000, buddy. Keep going. It'll
I
just
gotta
keep
get
rolling,
to
buddy.
10.
It'll just keep rolling.
Yep, I'm trying.
I think we went over 500,000. We're at 509,000, I think. Oh, no, that's likes. We're at I don't know, 65,000 or something like that followers
I've
on
got
TikTok.
40,000 likes.
I still haven't
So
gone
that's
live on
good.
TikTok. I'll keep threatening, but I don't know how to. Anyway, we'll get around to it. DJ, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
See, now I'm in a room full of ladies. Not that I planned it like that, or anyway. Angie, thank you so much for coming in, darling.
Well, you're welcome. I've enjoyed it. Y'all be good this week. Try to stay cool.
Indeed, yourself too. We're both baking in
Careful
this
with
stuff,
the things
darling. I
on
know.
the stick.
Oh God, y'all don't know how much I want that thing. I'm gonna be so dangerous when I get it. It's gonna be like
She's going to be a
show
fairly
around here.
dangerous woman.
I tell you, I'm gonna do mine and my neighbor's
I'm going to
yard.
go cut
My
everything
neighbor's
worth
There you
cutting.
go.
Come here.
My neighbor, she don't believe in mowing her yard. Poor thing. And I have a guy that comes does my yard every 2 weeks, but he just does the yard. He don't do all the trimming and the
Right.
limbs and all that stuff. But my neighbor, I tried to talk to her. I said, "Why don't you hire my guy? I mean, he's fairly reasonable." And she just ain't done it in her yard. God, she did not mow it not one time last year, and it don't look
Lord.
like she's gonna mow it this year.
Okay.
You know?
Camouflage, huh? Is there a
Yeah.
house in there?
Yeah, right.
And it's ruining my rose bushes.
Oh,
so
Lordy.
Oh, I'm
you
sorry.
already know my stick is gonna be going all the way across the fence row.
She
Boy,
got a chainsaw on her.
Yeah, watch it. That woman's got a chainsaw on a stick. Chainsaw on a stick, man. That sounds
right.
dangerous. Well, Angie, take care of
All right,
yourself,
good.
baby, and come back.
All right, see y'all later.
All right, take care of yourself. And Miss Chick,
Yes, John.
thank you, darling. When I first popped in here, you was the first name I saw down there, and I took a sigh of relief.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah, I
just think-
noticed there was like, hey, there's nobody in here with John.
Yeah, just you. And I was going, thank God she's in there. And then Ozzy jumped in, and right behind her came Bernadette. And I seen DJ pop in. So right now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people down.
We
And-
were
and-
just fashionably late. That's
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all. And
that's
that's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, Miss Chick, thank you very much for being here. I lean on you. I know I do. So thank you.
You're
for
welcome,
that.
John. And while everybody's 2 for blueing, what
Yeah?
else they can do?
What could they do? What
hit
could
that like
they do?
button, they could share, they
button?
could subscribe.
You say
they
there's a
could
button they
follow.
can push?
There's a button.
Where is this
At
button?
least one.
Where
I
is
think
this
you
button?
could point to it.
Where? That one down there?
Yeah,
You
I
mean
think it's
those ones down there? There's like what, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Look,
right there.
looks like a
There,
thumbs
see,
up.
right there.
Looks like a thumbs up.
You could hit that button. And easy. And easy.
And next to it, there's a share button.
There you go. Share this shit, as Leo Sahaki would say, which I hope he's doing
That's
fine.
right.
Leo, if you're out there, buddy, we got you in our head, buddy. Thoughts and prayers. That's what we're sending. I hope your ass is better. Anyway.
Yeah, I hope he's feeling better.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do. Anyway, thank you, Miss Chick. And
You're welcome, Ben.
and Bernadette.
And John.
I'm so happy to see you pop. Oh, there's Bernadette. Happy, happy, happy. Thank you so much for
I
being there,
remember
baby.
there.
And
Up until showtime, I'm always reading something or listening to something or watching something that's relevant.
I
so.
popped in on Robin's show the other day, and I heard her read a comment from you before I went in the room. I saw, look at her, Bernadette's.
I'm in there too.
There you
know,
go.
I'm, I'm
Good.
just trying to get the message out. We could do something about this, y'all.
Yes,
We could do
wherever you want. Robin Kincaid, Tim Cormall, Virginia Woodley, Leo Sahaki. There is a list of people
Yep.
who are using their voice.
Lots of work out here, guys. There's
That's
lots
it.
of work. to
Lots
do,
of work.
So.
But we need more. So if you're thinking about it,
Yep. We
jump
need
right
more.
in there.
You're the wealth.
And good to go. All right, baby. I guess we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for everybody tonight who donated. I appreciate it tremendously. Those on PayPal, on Patreon. I appreciate you so much. You don't know how much you mean to this family. Anyway.
You are the anchor there, Patreon. You are the anchor.
Yes. Who's the anchor?
Patreon.
Patreon is the
Patreon
anchor.
members are our anchors.
Patreon is the anchor that saves my ass from drifting every damn month. That is donations of $1 a month. Some give a little bit more, but most of them $1 a month. And believe me, that helps. That pays a bill at a critical time on the first day of the month. And yes, I need to. I'm behind on everything because I got a lot of shit in my head. I want to do more videos for Patreon. Videos that I do just for Patreon members. Because they're the ones that support this show the most. And those names going by, they mean something to us. And I want to thank every one of them that does. I want to thank everybody else for tuning in and participating in any way you can, because not everybody's got a buck. You know, myself, I'm stressed
John,
out.
where would they send that mail if they wanted to send
If
you a
they
buck?
were, you're done asking me to hit a button. Which button is it? I think
Here we
it's.
go.
I think it's this.
Over the years, the Blue Dot family has become a powerful catalyst for change, amplifying voices from not just the United States, but from all over the world. With that, a tapestry of diversity was woven together by the threads of shared interests, passions, and experiences, bonds forged through the comment sections and chat rooms of cyberspace. But when the opportunity arises to bring these connections into the tangible world, it is truly a transformative experience. Witnessing everyone's genuine joy and excitement to connect with one another was a testament to the incredible bonds that they have forged. And while, yes, talks of politics did happen and get pretty intense, however, the majority of the time was spent talking about the friends who couldn't make it that weekend, the friends that couldn't be there at the table with them. The everlasting bond you have all made with one another is something you all should be proud of. These gatherings, and this family as a whole, mean the world to my dad. And because of that, I can't thank you enough for making this family what it is. For being yourselves. For using your voice and taking part. That being said, I can safely say we are excited to do this again someday. And we hope you can make it. And if you can't, we'll see you in the Blue Room.